back on Born Before 64 with one of my best friends, Kim Ellis, who's a scientist, a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, owns her own company, and runs circles around me, right?
I feel tired.
I know.
Hearing all of that.
Whatever. But you know what? What amazes me is that you're balancing, and most women today balance a lot. Would you say? They have to.
Yeah.
Because we all have to work somehow.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I want to ask you is, when did you become redundant from your position with the mining industry?
It was, just trying to think, the end of 2008. The company underwent a restructure, and they were really great. They had a great program at the end of our employment where they put us through a recruitment firm, and they set us with some people who could help us with our resumes and finding another job and doing all of that. But being the kind of person that I am, a little bit outside the box, I had already decided that I wanted to go back to university and study law. I thought it was a great opportunity to actually improve my skills as a scientist by getting some additional communication skills and negotiation skills, and really starting to work towards not just looking at a small piece of a puzzle in the research, but being able to contribute in the corporate area into directing research and managing intellectual property, and being able to help other scientists to get funding and to continue work and really help people to become, I'm just trying to think, science funding is always a bit up and down.
Well, and it's in a lot of the nonprofits and funding structures are really hurting right now because of the economies all over the world.
Oh, absolutely. Everywhere.
Right. And one of the things that we talked about this weekend a lot was how to really change the way people look at science, funding space, funding. And you know, it's an educational process, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that...
And a marketing process.
Well, it is. And scientists are not historically very good at marketing themselves. They might be smart and able to discover new things, but sometimes they're not so great at marketing. And I guess...
And you're kind of naive, wouldn't you say, in some respects?
It's
to
just
that world?
not,
to that world?
Yeah, to that world.
Okay.
I think that it's not training that you receive as a scientist. You learn how to identify physical things and how to look for answers and discover different things. It's a different way of thinking, and so I think that scientists really need to address the big issue, which is funding for scientific programs comes from the government.
I think the thing that shocked me the most, and this is one of the things I'm really passionate about, and that is that they put to sleep, in a sense, our shuttle program. Yeah. Okay, and you've explained a lot, and we're going to talk about that in a minute or two. So they've kind of taken away that program, and the way the public perception about it is that it's kind of over.
Well, absolutely, and I know that in a lot of the radio talks that I've done back in Australia, the tech talks that I do, one of the questions that I get over and over again, especially when I was talking about the Endeavour Award program and coming to the States and NASA being a partner with ISU on this, but I thought NASA was shutting down, you know. No, there are so many exploration programs. They're working on a new crew vehicle. The shuttle was a really old vehicle.
And that's one of the things that, you know, that you're talking about. Yeah. Educating people on really what's happening.
That's right.
Not only in the NASA program, but a space program all around the world, and who's involved and how it's paid for.
That's right.
Now, so how did you get involved with the National Space Symposium, the organization itself, after you were made redundant?
Well, I had always been inspired by space, by the ability to actually get people out of orbit, to look beyond our Earth, to discover more. There's so much we don't know about the universe. Maybe it was because I was born the year that they walked on the moon.
That's pretty exciting, and it's
You
this
know.
year to this year.
Yep,
It's going to be how many years?
43.
43
That's top
years.
secret. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, don't tell
There's
anybody.
no
That's
one's
right.
going to see this, right? So,
Right.
Yeah,
No, but
right,
you're
yeah.
43, is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, 23.
23. All right. Okay, so then I'm 43. Okay, right. Go ahead.
And so I had travelled to the US back when I was in my 20s. Quite by accident, I just happened to be here and there just happened to be a shuttle launch on, and I just happened to be in the area and I went out to the night launch to see this shuttle.
Did you get to see it?
The thing went, and I don't know what happened. Something inside of me just went, oh wow, that's just really fantastic that people can do that. It's incredible. It just captured me. And then I went back to my laboratory job and went back to my life and never did a thing about it, because I never believed that I could make it happen. I thought, well, I'm in Australia and we don't have a space program. It's, you know.
Can I ask a question? Because it really amazes me. Why Australia doesn't have a space program? Why?
It's a really complicated question, because Australia was one of the first countries to put a satellite up, and Australia has great capability in telecommunications and security and radar and everything to do with communications, as well as we have the CSIRO, that is a government scientific research organisation that looks at some aspects. But Australia is quite small in comparison to the United States, and so...
Not in country size, though.
No, not in country size, but the number of people, and so...
How many people are in Australia in comparison to the United States?
Well, I was looking at the population of Florida, and I think it's the population of Florida and maybe one other small state nearby is about the same as the population of Australia. So if you look at it like that...
And when you look at a map of Australia, you'll see that it's as big as the United States or a little bit bigger.
I think it might be a little bit bigger.
Right. So
we'll have to get
per
maps
capita,
and lay them over the top, right?
Per capita, you know, you got a lot of land over there.
Oh yeah, and you know, they've launched things from out in the desert in Woomera, and we had the Japanese Hayabusa mission that came back from the asteroid, land in Australia.
Right.
We're in a geographically great position for receiving signals and for launching things and for doing all of that.
And then also for UFOs too, which you don't believe.
No, when they find us, they're going to kill us all.
I can't believe, you know, astronauts have even seen these creatures, and I don't get why you don't get it, but well, that's all right.
I haven't seen it.
Well, see, I think you're the kind of doubting Thomas that he has to hit you right in the face, and he'll come down and get you, and that'll be it, right?
Yeah, I hope they come for a party.
Yeah, right. So anyhow, we need to give that website out one more time, and that would be
www.earthspacetech.com.
earthspacetech.com. We'll be right back with Kim Ellis, and we're going to be talking about the space program when we come back on Kathryn Raaker's Born Before 64. We'll be right back.